Good morning, students, and welcome you all in very first class of mathematics for in standard 11. See, standard 11 mathematics is complete new for you. Means 9 10th is different and 11 12 is different in mathematics. I think one or two topics you have already read in 10, but most of the topics are complete new. See, for syllabus, what you have studied in standard 11, set theory. In set theory, you have to study sets, properties of sets, different terms involving sets. Besides this, Venn diagram, how we represent sets through figure, through Venn diagrams. These are to be studied in standard 11. The next topic, that is algebra. In algebra, you have already studied algebra in 9, 10, 8 as well. But here you have complete new chapters in algebra, like complex number, complete new topic, complex number. One topic, sequence and series. Sequence and series. You have studied initial part in standard 10. Later parts you have to study here. Besides this, principle of mathematical induction, binomial theorem, etc. So these are the complete new chapters for you. The next topic you have to study is trigonometry. Once trigonometry you have studied in 11, that is basic trigonometry. You have to study here the complete plane trigonometry. Means properties, identities, value of different angles. The next one is coordinate geometry. This first topic you have also studied in points, but after the points you have to study here straight line, circles, circles, conic section. These are the major 4 topics, major 4 parts you have to study in 11. Beside this, you have to study calculus. Calculus is backbone for plus 2. About 50% part of mathematics in 12 you have to study calculus. Some basic idea in standard 11 you have to study reasoning, statistics. These are the topics you have to study in 11. Sets, algebra, trigonometry, coordinate geometry, calculus, reasoning and statistics. These are the syllabus. All topics are different, like there is no relation between sets and algebra and trigonometry and coordinate geometry. In market you will see that different books, like one book for set theory, one book for algebra, one book for trigonometry is available. But here you have to follow only NCERT book. Besides this, you may take some books for practice, like R.S. Agrawal, R.D. Sharma. You know, mathematics is that subject which need regular, thorough practice. So students, you must give at least 2 hours per day on mathematics to improve yourself, because you are a science student and physics, chemistry, mathematics is backbone of the standard 11 or 12 science. So before starting standard 11 course of standard 11, see what is your basic ideas. Check yourself. First question is how many diagonals of a polygon having 8 sides. Polygons having 8 sides. So see students, you have draw quadrilateral, pentagon, hexagon. The polygon of 8 side is called octagon. So remember the formula. The number of diagonals of a polynomial having n sides is n into n minus 3 upon 2. Suppose number of polygons of a quadrilateral. So quadrilateral have 4 sides. So 4 into 4 minus 3, 1 by 2, that is 2. So 2 diagonals in a quadrilateral. Similarly, a polygon having 8 sides means 8 into 5, 8 minus 3, 5 by 2, that is 20 diagonals. In this way, you must calculate the number of diagonals. So you must remember the formula for number of diagonals of a polygon having n side. The next question is related from graph. See students, you have drawn the graph in standard 9, 10 as well. We take x-axis along horizontal line and y-axis along vertical lines. My question is, are x, y axis interchangeable? Means, suppose you are drawing graph for velocity. So velocity time graph, that is acceleration, velocity time graph. You take time along x-axis and velocity along y-axis, right? But then now my question is, will I take time along y-axis and velocity along x-axis? So we can't interchange x and y-axis, means we never take time along x-axis and velocity along y-axis. The reason without this, that x-axis is the axis which contain independent variable. And independent variable. Other axis, y-axis, z-axis, w-axis, so there are so many axes. Other axes are called dependent variable. Dependent variable and independent variables means there are two type of variables. One is independent, another is dependent. Independent variables, see, the variable which have only independent values, means which does not depend any other term, that is called independent variable. Means time is one of the independent variable. Do you know the another independent variable? That is rotation of earth, which derives geography. But time is independent variable, and independent variable will always be taken along x-axis and rest dependent variable. Dependent variable means the variable which depends upon some other variable. For example, my school will start at 8 a.m. So accordingly time we will go that in. Time does not depend us, we depend upon time. So time is independent variable, but we, the variable, are dependent variable. We all depend upon the time. So time always be considered as independent variable and others are dependent variable. Now come sets. What is a set? Set is defined as the collection of well-defined objects. Collection of well-defined objects. See the students, there is a term of well-defined. What is meaning of well-defined? Suppose you are studying in standard 11A. A student from other section come to meet you. You immediately say, sir, this student is not of this class. Means that particular student does not belongs to this 11A. Means that student is not well defined for 11A, although he is student of 11, but another section, suppose another B. So that particular student is not defined for 11A. So this is meaning of well defined. Well defined means the students of standard A is only well defined for 11A, for that section. Another student 11B, that student defined for 11E, but anyone come to meet you or to see you, that you immediately say this is not a student in my class. Means this student does not belongs to that particular group, so that particular collection. So that is the meaning of well defined objects. That objects are called members of the set. Members of the set. And suppose any element A is member of the set A, then we write A belongs to A. That symbol is called epsilon, and we read as belongs to set A. See, set always represented by capital letters and its member are written in curly bracket, like N. N is always represented as set of natural numbers. So you know natural numbers, counting numbers are called natural numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on are called natural numbers, and these are represented by curly bracket. Similarly, W be always represented as set of whole numbers. You must remember that is N, where N is told means N is set of natural number, W means set of whole numbers. Here you see 4 belongs to set of natural numbers, means 4 is a member of natural numbers. So we write 4 belongs to N. Similarly, 0, that is whole number, so 0 will belongs to set W, so 0 belongs to W. These are the definitions or meaning of elements of set. For example, see more example. Collection of vowels. You know vowel A, E, I, O, U are vowels. So if we write in curly bracket, so we say that this is a set of vowels of English alphabet. Now there are different forms of this set. Basically, we consider two forms of this set. One is roster form. One is roster form. This is also called tabular form or tabulation method. Roster form means the set whose elements are written as it is given. For example, see X 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is set in roster form. This same set can be written as like X such that 1 less than equal to X less than equal to 5 and X belongs to natural number. This is called set builder form. Set builder form. So there are two forms of the set. One is roster form, another is set builder form. Builder form represented in this way, and roster form means whose elements are as written as given. Builder form means whose elements are written in symbolic form, meaning are same, elements will be same. So see student, different types of set. So consider 11A sitting in room number 5. So during school hour, all students will sit in room number 5. But off hour, room number 5 is empty. So during school hour, we say that room number 5 is set of students of 11A. But in the evening time, when off time, room number 5 is empty. We also say that room number 5 is allotted to 11A, but no student. So that set remains there. So there is a set at that time having no element. Similarly, this set having no element is called empty set. The set having no element is called empty set, and empty set is represented by phi. Similarly, phi, this is symbol of empty set, and we write it as phi. See the symbol. The next one is singleton set. Singleton set means the set having exactly one element or only one element is called singleton set. This is the set having only one element 1. This is the set having one element A. These all are singleton set. But see the difference. Phi and phi. Both are not same. This phi means not within bracket. This phi is empty set. Empty set means it has no element at all. But this is the set which have exactly one element. So this is singleton set. Singleton set. Similarly, 0, that is also a singleton set. So first question right here, what is the difference between phi, phi and 0? So phi is the singleton set whose one element is phi. 0 is the singleton set whose one element is 0. But this phi is empty set, means which has no element, right? So the next one is finite set. Finite set means the set which have definite number of element. Definite number of element. But what is meaning of definite number? Definite numbers, we oftenly say that countable numbers are definite number. See here, one more term that is not belongs to book. I will like to explain you. Suppose I ask you count from 1 to 100. You count it immediately. That is finite set. But we say, if I ask that write from 1 to 100 crores or count from 1 to 100 crores. Let students, the counting from 1 to 100 crores is quite difficult. It takes a lot of time. It will chance for mistakes. So it is called denumerable. Denumerable means it is a finite set. Elements may be counted, but still infinite. We can't count. We can't write all the members. So this is a special type of finite set, that is denumerable sets. These are the small technical words, fundamental terms you should know, that finite and denumerable. The infinite set, quite clear that the set which have infinite number of elements is called infinite set. So that is, I say right from a set 1 to infinity, we write it 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. dot dot dot. So this is an example of infinite set. So finite set, infinite sets. This is another two types of set. In finite set we use a different term, that is denumerable, means which may be done, which may be counted, but still infinite. Like example, count from 1 to 100 crores. That is a denumerable, means may be counted, but elements is infinite. So this set, denumerable set, also comes under finite set. We also consider it as finite set. So students, this is very first class. I think you understand well. If you are not understanding, any doubt you have, you may ask anytime. I will always be available. From tomorrow we shall learn about some more terms with examples. Till then, okay, bye.